About 3.5 years ago, I lost my house in a fire, and that's been something that I have struggled with a lot emotionally. And in January, one of my clients who's in foster care lost his foster home in a fire. And he was a kid that I really struggled to work with. I would go to see him and he would put his head on the table and didn't want to talk. And I just really struggled to connect with him and have a relationship with him. And after his fire, I was able to tell him that I had gone through the same thing. And he was in my car and we were talking about it, and he started crying, and I was able to just talk with him through that and really level with him. And it was redeeming, one, for me to use something hard that had happened to me and use it to glorify God and to reach into the life of a child. But also it really strengthened my relationship with this kid. And since then, in our sessions, he doesn't stop talking. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of good conversations since then. And that's been something that the Lord just used that to redeem something that was really hard for me. And that was really cool. I work with kids who have autism and other learning disabilities, but my agency is also a foster care agency, so about half of my clients are in the foster care system and half are outpatient. A lot of people think if children's services get called, the child will automatically be taken into care, but there's a lot that has to happen. So whenever I meet a new child who is in foster care, I always know that foster care is not without some sort of trauma to the child. And they, as rough as their histories can be, they love their families, and it's never without loss to them. James 1:27 that says, religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction and to keep oneself unstained from the world. And that was a verse that somebody gave to me a long time ago, and it's just so clear to me from that God has a heart for orphans, and that it should be something that we as the church care about. And there's so many different capacities that we can care. We can foster. We can open our homes to foster or to adopt, or simply supporting foster families, supporting people who are doing this, giving financially, giving our time. We can also mentor kids in the foster care system through Franklin County, through FCCS. It's kind of like big brothers, big sisters, but you would take them to do things and just be a consistent person in their life through potential changes in foster homes, or between their biological home and a foster home, just being like a safe and consistent person for them. There is CASA, where you can be an advocate for a child in the courtrooms. You would go to court and be somebody that sits with them, explains the process, and that's also a volunteer organization. So there's so many different capacities that people at every level can be involved. I encourage you to get to know the families in Veritas that are fostering and adopting, and find out how you can meet their needs, to pray about ways that you can be involved through Franklin County or through Veritas, and I encourage you to buy some items for the Comfy Kits and to bless children who are in the foster care system.